What's up, you guys? Matt with Matt Builds coming at you with another video. Today we're going over tires. Nothing fancy, not going to be a long video, just some basic how-to things to look for, signs and symptoms of a bad tire, how to add air, how to check your air, and that's pretty much it. So let's get to it. First thing you want to do is find this guy. Now this one does have a green cap on it. This green cap is typically a sign that you may have nitrogen in the tires. Your tires may not have air, they may have nitrogen. Later in the video I'll give more explanation on that, but my tires don't have nitrogen in them, so we're going to take that off. Grab our handy dandy tire pressure gauge. These come in different shapes and sizes, different styles. This is the one I have. I like the little gauge, quick readout. Hit it, got 32 pounds in it. That's it. Let's say we want to add a little bit of air to the tire. Say I want 35 or 36 pounds in this tire. So we're going to grab an air chuck. They all look different. These look different again. But you're always going to have some type of end like that on it that's actually going to have that little stem sticking out. We're going to take that, place that on the valve stem, and you can hear air going into the tire. Right at about just over 32. I'm going to leave it there. A lot of people will actually go by this right here. So this is the tire right here that I have on my vehicle, and it's actually telling you 80 psi cold. Now I don't go by that. I go by what your vehicle says. Now this is my vehicle. Turn you here. So now this is based off of this tire size on my vehicle, and 30 psi is what it's saying that this vehicle needs. Go by this number. Now you can adjust it. It doesn't have to be exact. I run a little bit more than this, but I usually keep mine around 32 to 35 in the colder months. In the colder temperatures, your tire pressure is going to be lower. So that's when you're going to want to check it, is when your tire is cold. Don't check the tire pressure hot. As you drive the vehicle, the tires heat up and the tires get warmed up, the tire pressure will increase. So you may start at, say, 30 psi. After a 30-45 minute drive, your tires are warmed up good. You may be 33, 34 psi. So your tire pressure will increase. But I always recommend going by the tire pressure located on your vehicle. The tire is pretty much just telling you that's the max tire pressure. Right here, I want to mention the nitrogen filled tires again. Typically, those are pretty much just to help keep your tire more regulated versus it fluctuating up and down, hot and cold. It is supposed to help them ride better and wear better and that sort of thing. Is it that big of a help? I don't know, maybe. But again, I just wanted to kind of touch on that and let you know what that was for. Let's say you do add a little bit too much air to your tires, and you want to let a little bit out. So you have that little core right there in the center. Let's see if I can, there you go. That little core right there in the center, you just want to mash it. You can hear it kind of, I don't want to let too much air out of mine. But a lot of the tire pressure gauges will have a little peg like sticking out the back side of it to actually push it to let any air out. So now we've got the tire pressure that we want in there. We're going to put the cap back on. So when you're checking your tires, you want to check the tread. Sometimes the tread, see if I can kind of show you, the tread will actually be canted one way or the other. They will wear a little bit uneven. One side, the sides may be lower, worn down more than the middle. Typically, if your sides are worn down, then your tire pressure is too low. So the center of the tire is kind of sinking in. If the center is worn out more than the edges, then typically your tire is overinflated and the center of the tire is making more contact with the road than the edges. So you always want to check and make sure you have a good even wear on your tires. Now if you really want to get technical on your tread depths and how they're wearing, you can get one of these, a tire tread depth gauge. And what you're going to want to do is push it right down there, and it actually has numbers on it. So you can see right there, I'm at about 15, 16, 30 seconds of tread depth. So we're going to check across the middle. Right across the middle, we're just over 12 under 13, or right at 12, 30 seconds. And then on the back side here, we're about 16, 30 seconds of tread depth. So we're at 16, about 13, 12 or 13, and then 16 again. So that tells me that I'm actually overinflated a little bit, which we just saw that with me airing them up. And the center of the tire is actually wearing more than the edges. But I'm still going to leave it like it is because it's not bad. But you can also rotate your tires. As long as you rotate your tires very often, it does help out a lot. Now, I do recommend rotating your tires at least every other oil change is really good. It's kind of a good rule of thumb. As long as you keep them rotated, they're going to last a lot longer and give you more life. I'm going to insert a couple of images here. So this first image that I'm going to insert is a different style of tire pressure gauge. The image on the farthest right side actually shows the little white piece extended out the bottom. That will actually have your reading on it to how much tire pressure you have. It will look like the image on the left until you put it on that valve stem. Once you push it on that valve stem, that white piece will kick out and it will show you how much air is in there. Just remember that every time you check it, like if you're airing up a little bit and it's not quite enough and you got to air it up again, push that white piece back in and start all over again each time you do it. The next one I'm going to insert here is pretty much the same tire pressure gauge that I have. It just has a hose on it. Just a little bit longer. Instead of having to be right there at the tire pressure gauge, it actually has a hose to put it on there. The next image is a digital tire pressure gauge, and you can find these. They're usually adjustable. They'll show bars, PSI, so forth. But these are pretty much the same, just a digital version of what I have. I'm going to show a couple of images of some bad tires and things that you'll look for, worn out tires. This first image is actually off of my mother-in-law's vehicle. So she was getting a shake out of her vehicle, and she had asked me about it. So I went out there, and this is what I found. Pretty worn through the belts of the tire. Definitely dangerous tire to be riding on. She went that next morning and got a new tire put on there. This next image is another tire that I just happened to see out in public. So this tire right here is worn pretty good. It's worn on the outside edge. It has some of that I was talking about, how the tread's kind of angled or slanted. This tire is just worn really bad. It's definitely in need of replacing. This tire right here was on a trailer. It is worn really bad on that outside edge. I just wanted to show a couple different ways that tires will wear. They'll wear on the edges, wear across the center. They'll wear uneven. So if you're getting any kind of shakes, vibrations, anything like that, especially if it's something that kind of changes with speed, definitely have a professional look at it. And if you see anything like you've seen in any of these images, get a new tire. One more thing I want to show, as far as checking tire wear. So this tire right here is off of my Toyota Tacoma, my old tires. You can see this little bar right here. Those are what they call wear bars. You'll have them all throughout the tire. They'll be all over. And what they are is a signal that once this tread pattern starts wearing down even with this little bar, these little bars, that's pretty much telling you, hey, you need new tires. That's it, guys. I'm wrapping it up. I don't want to drag this out too far. I wanted to kind of do the basics of how to inflate a tire, how to check tire pressure first, then some things to look forward to as we moved into the video. I did do tires professionally for a little while, and my best friend, he's done tires 20 years or better probably. So if you have any other questions, please ask me in the comments below. If I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you. But anyways, I hope this helps somebody out, and I appreciate y'all watching if you're still here to this point, and we'll see y'all on the next one.